Hi, I'm Hilary from the Hoffman Institute, and I want to talk to you about the cycle of transformation, which is a cycle that we use for creating personal change. And the Hoffman Institute has been using the cycle of transformation for 50 years, but it hasn't been until recently, with the access to modern day neuroscience, that we've learned that this cycle of moving from awareness through expression into compassion and forgiveness and then new behavior is actually the cycle for creating new neural pathways in the brain. So I'm going to tell you how you can use this cycle on your own. First, with awareness, you become aware that you're in a negative pattern. This could be a negative behavior, mood, attitude, belief, and you decide to do something about it. You decide to take action and use your voice and your body to create a boundary, to express your desire, your intention, to create a boundary between yourself, your essence, and the negative pattern. And then you move into compassion and forgiveness, where you forgive yourself and express compassion to yourself for having that negativity. You also might extend the compassion and forgiveness to others in your life who were involved in the negative pattern, if it involved others. And then you move into new behavior, a new way of being based on this cycle. So I'll give you an example. Let's say you're feeling really like you have the need to know what's happening next, how things are going to pan out. You feel like you need to know what's next. So awareness would be realizing, oh my gosh, I'm obsessing about the future. I'm obsessing about needing to know how everything's going to pan out, and it's robbing me of my ability to be in present time. So that's awareness right there. You can deepen your awareness by doing something we call pattern tracing, which is going back into your childhood, looking at where did I learn this pattern? Maybe I learned this need to know because as a kid I felt the adults didn't have their act together, so I was hypervigilant, trying to anticipate what's next. Whatever it is for you, you can pattern trace, you can reflect on the pattern in your journal, become aware of its impact on your body sensations, your relationships, however you want to deepen your awareness. But just simply having the awareness is also enough. Then you move into expression, which is using your voice and your body to create a boundary between yourself and this negative way of being. So you can do this in your journal. If you don't have privacy and you can't use your voice, you can use your written voice. If you do have the space to use your actual verbal vocalized voice, that can be really helpful. You can stomp your feet and say, I don't want to be like this anymore. So in this example, I would say, I don't want to be obsessing about the future. I want to come back into the present. Or you could simply blast a song and dance it out and make up lyrics about how you want to be free of this negative pattern. Two things to remember. In order to do expression in a healthy way, you need to have a healing intention. This isn't venting, this isn't raging. It's using your voice and your body with a healing intention. And you also want to do it for a set amount of time. Say the length of one song, a certain number of pages in my journal, set my alarm for 3 minutes. So it's contained with a healing intention. And then you move intentionally into compassion and forgiveness. The ancient yogic mudra for compassion is hands in the center of your chest. It's called hands on heart. And what this starts to do physiologically is create the bonding hormone, oxytocin, that nursing mothers have for their babies. And it's really good for your immune system. You can do this just by putting your hands on the center of your chest. And then intentionally forgiving yourself for having this negative behavior. So I would forgive myself for getting obsessed with the future and missing out on present time, and remind myself it's part of the human condition to be that way. I could forgive my parents for whatever they did that made me feel like I had to be hypervigilant as a child, and accept them as part of the human condition. And what starts to happen organically as you do this, I can actually feel the oxytocin in my body. You're creating a physiological shift that automatically starts creating new behavior. And then you can intentionally create new behavior also by using your body to create the shape of your spiritual self, the posture, and ask, what would my spiritual self do? What would my essence do? The advantage of compassion, I'm just going to give you an example here. Make a fist with one hand and use your other hand to try to pry open the fist. This is the example of being self-critical. I'm going to change my fist, trying to fix myself. So in my example I would say, I'm not going to think about the future. I'm going to come into the present. What you notice is the fist doesn't open when you try it yourself. Then use your other hand and fill the palm with love, with compassion. You might think of a loving time in your life where you felt loved or loving, and bring that palm, which might start to feel warm and tingly from love, and hold your fist and notice what starts to happen. Automatically your fist starts to unfurl and soften. And this is what happens in the body, in the whole psychobiology, our soma. When we do this, we start to relax, and we relax into new behavior. And at the Hoffman Institute, we teach a technique called recycling for creating new behavior. And there are many other techniques out there for creating new behavior. But you can simply do it just by letting your body unfurl, relax with your own love, your own compassion, your own forgiveness. And in my example, what might happen is I might come into present time. I might want to use my senses to smell the flowers, or feel my own touch, or have a drink of water, or taste something, using the senses to come into present time. But you get to this inspiration for how to do new behavior having gone through the first 3 steps. So I hope this is helpful. And if you want to learn more about the tools and practices we offer through the Hoffman Institute, you can go to our website. Be well, and thank you.